Hello. Please tell me my kids can't play at this park.
No, that's not what I'm telling you. They got to be supervised by, is that how the HOA rules are written? By an adult that lives here, and on their ID has to show that they live here.
Okay, well, my address doesn't show that I live here, but you know that I live here because you've been to my house several times.
I get what you're saying.
So are we going to be arrested for playing at this park?
No, but you could get trespassed and probably get fined by your HOA.
Well, then we're going to have to take that fine because I pay too much rent for them to tell me my kids can't play at this park. I know little white kids are not getting asked for their ID. So whatever they got to do, they're going to have to do it because I'm going to tell my kids from now on, go play at the park, and if somebody tells you to leave, ignore them.
That's fine.
That's what.
You keep racking up the fine, and then they'll just have to send it on to your stuff.
Okay, so that's fine. All right.
So the HOA president will probably be here.
Okay, that's cool. You guys play at the park until y'all feel like coming home.
Parents and guardians who have children in middle and high school, please consider getting your child the Real ID card. We are living in perilous times, and we have seen that ICE is picking up any and everybody from every and anywhere. Our children are not with us 24 hours, especially to and from school. And in lieu of having them walk around with their passports, which seems to be a necessity, this has been the longest, 4 years, and it's only been 2 weeks. So just as a precaution, please consider getting the ID. I took my daughter yesterday. She's 13, and it was in and out. Made an appointment online. We had all the documents, and she'll be getting her ID next week.
Of children that are citizens of the country, you need to go to the DMV today and go get their Real ID. When I was a child, we were going through the immigration process, and our lawyers had us get myself and my siblings an identification card. They didn't have Real IDs back then, but just in case we were deported, there was some form of identification to us that was more than just a birth certificate with no picture and no fingerprint. I just at the DMV today after helping some people get their kids done, and I've asked, have you seen an influx of people bringing their children? And they said no. It was more common back in the 80s when children would go missing a lot more often. In California, it only costs $39 a child. All you do is your parent, you bring their birth certificate and 2 forms of address verification, like 2 bills that are connected to your name as the adult. Even if your children are not citizens, I would say it'd be helpful to get it done anyway, just because if anything happens to your child, there is some form of record in the government database that has your child's picture and fingerprint available.
So fun fact, you can take a child who is under driving age to the DMV and get them a Real ID. That is a valid citizenship form of identification. So if you have a child who is under driving age, is not eligible yet for a permit or a license in your state, you can actually look up what they need to get that Real ID, and then you can go get them that Real ID. So if you have a child who is a US citizen and maybe they have a Spanish last name, or maybe they look kind of Spanish, you can take them to go get that Real ID and give them a form of identification, so if certain agents stop them, they have a way to protect themselves. Just some food for thought. I wasn't sure if you were aware of that. So this Saturday, anyway, I will be taking my 10-year-old daughter with a very Hispanic last name to the DMV to get her Real ID, and she will be keeping that on her person at all times because I'm not playing that game. Just because I don't look like a target doesn't mean she doesn't look like a target. Also, be safe out there, okay? Follow me. Share this. Follow me. I'm going to try and do my best to share some tips and fun pieces of information as I come across it. All right? Stay safe. Love you all.